So this is really funny. I wonder if there's a way of, oh, let's just go with it and see what happens.
Let's go with the flow.
We're figuring out the tech here because this is the first time we've done this, but we are in person, people. So this is going to be really fun.
Look, I can touch.
Yes, we can touch, we can feel. Although that's a whole different, like, we don't want to be advertising that.
No,
that's not the audience. That's not the audience that we want to attract.
Okay, so Nikki Bevan.
Yes.
Who are you? Do you want to just tell?
Yeah, that looks all right, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And we're also recording this on Zoom, so we're going to be able to upload it to.
I'm going to talk to you rather than lovely to see you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
who are you?
Right.
What's your name? Where'd you come from?
That's still a black, isn't it? Love her. God bless her soul. Right. I am Nikki Bevan. I don't even know where to look. I'm the emotional resilience coach. And I basically, I'm the loving no bullshit life coach for working mums who they like their job. She fiercely loves her kids, but she really isn't enjoying either because of this constant kind of battle that she has in her head of guilt and the relentless hamster wheel that she feels she's on of kids cooking, cleaning clients, kids cooking, cleaning clients.
Yeah.
So,
oh God, it's exhausting.
So Vicky and I have some really great conversations. And so we wanted to just come on and share this conversation with you guys. We haven't planned it. We have no idea how it's going to go.
That's how good we are. Nikki did actually say before we started this could be really shit.
Which was really shit. Yeah, and we're going to let it be shit because that's where we're going to start with. So,
well, so we're here. Oh, who am I?
Yeah, they need to know that.
Nikki's got 2 kids, by the way. I've got 3. And I'm also a personal trainer, which I stopped for a little bit before Christmas just because of my husband started working abroad and I wasn't sure how I was going to juggle the kids and my work and everything. But actually, I love my job so much. So I get a lot out of it. And I think we all need a purpose in life. And the fulfillment of helping others is really, helps me a lot as well. But I think coming into the new year, we all have, well, we don't all have, but a lot of people have goals.
Yeah, we set New Year's resolutions.
Some people set ridiculously huge New Year's resolutions, like I want to lose 2 stone and I'm, gonna give up alcohol and I'm gonna do this. And it's almost like too much. So coming to you, if I had a goal that I wanted to achieve in 2024, and for people out there that have goals, what are your tips and advice, do you think, for actually keeping the goals, or even going back a step and saying what would be an achievable goal? Should you set yearly goal, monthly goal, daily goal? What do you think?
So this is actually really funny, Vicky, because I was getting coached on this last night.
Oh, were you?
Yeah. So we tried not to talk about this before we started because we wanted to be a natural conversation, but I really don't like setting goals. But I realized the reason I don't like setting goals is because I never fucking achieve them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so my brain's like, what is the point?
Yeah.
We're not.
You feel like a failure.
Yeah. I'm not gonna. Yeah. What is the point? There's no point. And actually, and I've just realized this as we're talking now. I know our brain talks bollocks to us. This is part of what I teach my clients, right? I'm sorry if I've got a potty mouth. I don't mean to offend. Do I get passionate? The F-bomb drops out. Let's make a game. Count how many F-bombs you can.
Oh, that's a good idea. See how many you can count. We'll count them as well. I'll count them, and the winner can get like a free PT with me.
It's brilliant. There you go. Start counting, guys. So, what was I saying? I don't like setting goals, but actually, I've just realised that a couple of years ago, I did set myself a goal to lose 2 stone.
Wow,
and
that's that. Did you?
And I hit that goal. So why does my brain think I don't hit goals when actually I have hit my goals in the past? So this is, and I was getting coached on this last night. And I have actually set myself a goal for 2024, although I did set it a couple of months ago. But it's really interesting, isn't it? Because everybody, like there's the kind of like this pressure to kick off the new year, new you.
Yeah.
Let's set a goal. And I think if that feels natural and it feels good for someone, brilliant, go for it. We'll talk about in a minute, one of the key things I think is knowing your reason why you're doing it.
Yeah.
So knowing your reason why you're setting that goal. But there are also some people, and I was coaching a client on this morning, where she's like, but it's dark. I want to hibernate. I still want to hide away. It doesn't, for some of us that are more in tune with nature's rhythm, this is still a hibernating, hunkering down type of year, isn't it? And I think, so for me, it feels so much more natural to wait maybe to the spring. And it might be for the people listening that actually spring is your time to set a goal. It doesn't have to be the new year. But if you're going to set a goal and you want to make a New Year's resolution, there are ways to make it so much more beneficial. And one of my first tips is know your reason why. You've got to know your reason why. And if that reason sounds a little bit like, I need to improve myself, I should be better, I'm not good enough, it's gonna feel shit. That is a really shit reason to set a goal. And it will feel crap. It will feel hard, and it will not be sustainable.
No, it's sort of very superficial, sort of, yeah.
So it's so much more beneficial to find your reason why, and for that reason to be compelling. So a lot of us want to lose weight, don't we? Why? We want to be healthy. All right. But let's dig a bit deeper. Like, why do we want to be healthy? Well, I want to have more energy. Why do you want to have more energy? Oh, I want to be able to do things with my kids. Why do you want to do things with your kids? Because I love them so much and I want to be around for them. Boom. That's a compelling reason.
And it's almost, I think, possibly worth writing it down. Who is the person that I want to be? You know, as you just pointed out, the playing with your kids, having more energy to do that. Can we just go back a tiny bit to, because lots of people out there will have enormous goals. So just focusing in on that 2 stone that you talked about that you did achieve. What time of the year did you start that? And what were the methods to help you through that? Because I think that might be interesting.
So I started that. I know I hit my goal just before Christmas in whatever 2 years ago. I don't remember dates. I had set it around the March time. There's spring. And it was literally like a pound at a time. So you must know
it was
this.
like baby steps.
You must know this with your PT sessions. Like if you say to someone, right, who's never exercised before, right, we're going to do an hour 3 times a week, you might do it for the first 2 days and then you don't
Even
do it.
I'm like,
no,
it's just, I think it's so, it's just, there's so much sort of pressure out there, isn't there, to be fit, eat healthily, all the rest of it, and it just does seem overwhelming at times. So yeah, I think the
small, like
tiny like ant steps.
Exactly. What if you just did 5 minutes 3 times? Just start there. That's the habit building.
I think you're exactly right, because I mean, if you're a working mum,
like we
which
are,
the majority of the population are, you know, you've got to get the kids out the door, you've got to think about the supermarket, the house, washing, which could just be a never-ending thing. And how are you meant to also fit in your hour of exercise as well? You know, because I've got to do it because they say I've got to do it. Well, actually, it's what can you fit into your lifestyle? Can you possibly fit in 15 minutes this week? Could you 15 minutes?
Could you commit to that?
And then could you commit to that? And when the time comes to do it and you still don't want to do it, say, okay, I'm going to do it for 5 minutes. And if I hate it after 5 minutes, I'll stop. I'm betting money that you'll do more than 15.
Always. Because when we start, we all know this, don't we? I love yoga. Never want to do it. Like I never want to actually get my mat out and do yoga. But once I'm like 5 minutes in, I'm like, oh my God, this feels really good. And you love it. When I'm doing my river swimming, I'm walking to the river, my brain is actually going to me, what the fuck are we doing? Like, what the actual fuck? But I walk out feeling like such a badass. Because you just start.
Do you high five yourself?
I do. I run around naked and feel good.
Oh dear God, people tune out now.
That's as long as no one's around. I feel like a 5-year-old.
I just swam in the river.
But it's about like, because the thing is, guys, like we're human. You and I are human. All the people are human and listening. And if you don't believe you're human, I'm sorry to tell you, you are. You have a human brain that is motivated to make everything easy. It is designed hundreds of thousands of years ago to hunker down in a cave to conserve energy. What?
I
You've
know
just
I'm
had an
actively
inspiration.
listening, but I was just on that note, you saying we're human. So a really interesting thing this morning that I heard on a radio show that many of you may have been listening to as well, was it's now scientifically proven that they've identified in your brain will, actually what will is, the will to do something. So you have one on your right side of the brain, one on your left. And your will grows when you do things you do not want to do. It doesn't have to be exercise, it can be anything. It can be your tax return, swimming in the river. You don't want to do it. But those that do more things that they don't want to do have bigger will. So athletes, you know, top performing athletes, top performing business people have bigger wills than those that say are obese. So really, really interesting. So it's almost like your will to live, pushing you out of your comfort zone a little bit. But I also think there are ways to build you up to help you get there.
It's kind of setting yourself up for success, isn't it? So knowing your reason why, chunking it down into small, really doable steps so that when your brain is screaming at you, you could be like, it's just 5 minutes.
So for you, for example, you're shoving in the chocolate the year before. Well, no, that's really mean. It's only because I think you told me that once with the kids. You used to love the sweets in the bowl with them.
So chocolate buttons with squashy.
I am right. So you're shoving in the sweets, not every day, but just, you know, you like the sugar from
definitely a sweet tea.
So you've got the sweets for the kids still, maybe? How do you not go for that squashy?
So I liken this to labor contraction. If any of you have experienced the joy of childbirth, you will know that a contraction starts and it builds and builds and builds, and you do your best to breathe, and then it releases off again. Our emotions are no different, and the craving for sugar is actually an emotion. Now, this is going to be the topic we talk about next month, isn't it?
So we won't,
because we're going to try and talk about this every month. But it's a really good point, because we, as humans, try and avoid negative emotions. We try and avoid doing hard things. And by hard, I mean, you know, wanting to exercise and not getting to do it, or trying to eat healthy, but actually the craving for all the junk food. But just because our brain is telling us that that's what it thinks we should eat, that's the primitive part of our brain. It has the average age of a 5-year-old. We are able to access our higher brain, our prefrontal cortex, and this is what makes you you. This is what enables you to think ahead of time, to plan rationally. It always gives you the best advice. So when you're planning ahead, we're talking adults, fully functioning adults, not children. Children, it doesn't start to develop until 11, can take up to 25. So when you're planning ahead of time and you're excited and you're thinking, yeah, that's using your prefrontal cortex, which always gives you the best advice, because it knows, it's your wisdom, it's your inner wisdom, it knows what's right for you. And then the moment comes, maybe you've said, right, every morning I've done the school run, before I start work, I'm just going to do just 5 minutes. That time, your primitive brain's going to go, I don't want to do that. It might even tell you the washing up is so much better. Like, I'll just tidy this, I'll just sort that out, I'll just fold the washing, which is like, I never want to fold the washing.
No, but it's there, so you do it to put it off, procrastinate.
Whereas you could just be with so much compassion. And I think this is the thing, coming back to your reason why, setting that reason with so much compassion for your body and yourself, and just having that conversation like you would with a 5-year-old and go, do you know what? I get it. I know we don't want to do the exercise. We don't want to eat the healthy food. We don't want to get in the river. We don't want to make that phone call to that new client. Like, whatever. We don't want to have that difficult conversation with the boss. Like, whatever.
But when you do,
so much better, isn't it? Yeah, it really is. And that's the resilience. That's building. And
that's the will that's growing.
And then you're growing your will. So I'm curious then, Vicky, what do you do in order to, because we were talking about this a little bit earlier, before we started, about morning routine, and I think that's like, so tell us about that.
My morning routine. So I get up an hour and a half before I have to leave the house, if not 2 hours. And I know that probably sounds absolutely insane, but it's the way I am able to leave the house singing to music rather than like, fuck kids, get your heads. I swore, not her. It doesn't matter. So I will wake up going, like most of us, oh my God. Oh, I don't know. You probably wake up happy. I'm like,
No,
oh
I'm
God, I
like-
don't want to get out of bed. I don't
Yeah,
want to get out of
I'm
bed.
just
Alarm's
like
going,
that,
la, 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 la.
Snooze,
But
snooze.
just get up. Just get up. Okay. Step one, get out of bed. Now I then have to go and wake my son up. Troop downstairs, dogs, and still. But I have got by the kettle a pint glass. So rather than have a cup of tea or a coffee, I have a pint of water. Okay, that's what I do. And actually, having that is slowly helps. Now, what I've done the night before.
So hang on, can I just stop you a
Yes.
second? Are you telling me then you're not because I just imagine you're one of those people that just wake up and go, bing, I'm awake, yippee, let's go.
It's me. Because I'm so positive the whole time. No.
That's so funny.
No,
Okay,
no.
back to the
No.
night before.
So the night before, I've unloaded the dishwasher.
Oh, well done.
I know.
Before.
Oh, Nikki, it's a game changer. I come downstairs in the morning, I'm like, no dishwasher to empty. See? It's building
Yes,
like
I can
happy
see.
morning. Bearing in mind husband's away, so I haven't got a dishwasher unloader, which he was. So have my pint of water, put the kettle on, make my son a cup of tea. But I'm like delaying my cup of tea a bit because I'm sort of wanting my body to wake up. Now we should all get outside for some fresh air. It's very good for us, but you know, dark, generally raining the whole time. So, you know, if you can, you can. If you can't, you can't. I literally open the door, let the dogs out, let them back in. So it's probably 2 seconds. Anyway, so I've done all that. And then I just allow myself time for anything that, you know, I then have my shower and all the rest of it. But if I, for example, exercise, so say your goal is to do exercise, or you've got to go to the office, have your stuff ready the night before. So again, so if your plan is to go to the gym, if your stuff's there and you literally have to walk over it, you're more inclined to put it on and go to the gym rather than like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow because the stuff's in the cupboard and, you know.
Yeah. And what's a really good tip on that point, and I really seriously, I need to hear myself saying this and actually apply it in my life, is like, right, I'm just going to put on my gym kit. I'm just going to put on my trainers. I'm not thinking about anything else. I'm just going to walk downstairs.
Yeah.
I'm just going to grab my car keys, or I'm just going to go outside, or I'm just going to.
And the other thing on the gym kit, and I'm not saying you have to go Lululemon,
Although
but
lovely.
It is lovely, but I would avoid the baggy t-shirt and old leggings. Like, don't put your painting gear on, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Because if you do, you just feel like, ugh, don't you? Whereas if you put a nice workout top and a nice pair of leggings, you're just going to feel a bit more, okay, I've got the gear on. You haven't done anything yet, but you're still feeling
you're
a bit,
that,
you know?
kind of motivation.
So, you know, so making the bed. I know
I do that.
Good.
I do that every morning.
So by making the bed, I've got my cushions plumped up. I'm like, beautiful, you're looking stunning bed. It's just little things that really help me.
Yeah.
So then I'm having the shower, and then there'll be the odd text message, won't there?
Yeah.
In my life. Okay, so there'll be, I know, from my mum or from my husband or from someone. But because I've allowed time, I'm not rushing. I'm like, yeah, I can have a little because I'm not rushing, because it's fine, because I've made time. So then by the time, you know, and I may even do a little wash, put a wash on, everything. So by the time I'm then like, right, kids, time to go, I'm like, come on, kiddies, they're all like, oh God. But I'll be like,
you're ready.
Ready.
Because you've gone through that process.
So by allowing, and this works for me, it might not work. Other people might want to just go out the door and sort everything out. But I've also generally put all the kids' stuff, wipe the stuff down, put it in, so that when I get back, or I might be going straight out to teach or whatever, done.
Yeah.
Dogs are asleep, they're fed, they're happy, they've been outside. I'm like, I'm winning at life.
Yeah.
And then obviously things will come up and go wrong.
Yeah, and it will be.
But I can then put the music in the car and go.
What's really interesting about everything that you just said is that you've got this little really nice habitual routine now that you've created. But what enables you to feel so good is because you say to yourself, right, now I'm ready.
Yeah.
Which could be available to you at any point, but
Yeah.
it's so much easier to believe that sentence when you've gone through those bits of.
Yeah, I think that's very true. And the other thing is the reverse of that, for me, I hate being rushed.
Yeah.
Like I get really panicky and stressed. So if the kids are in the car and my husband's in the car or stuff and I'm not ready, I'll be like,
Yeah.
and I hate that. It's
Yeah.
like,
so do you think this is a really kind thing to do for yourself? Are you doing
for
more
me,
of that out of kindness?
for me, it just helps me,
Yeah.
makes me, and then by doing that, if I've got goals, I'm more able to achieve them because I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, right, we're in the right frame of mind, we've got the right gear on, whatever we're doing, and then we're good to go.
Yeah.
Rather than if I'm stressed and rushing and swearing at the kids and going, but yeah,
I told you I've measured the bit, I've actually put your shoes on.
So I'm not saying I don't do that
At times. Yeah.
And you can tell my my kids if they join them, like,
Yeah.
she's not like that all the time.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I mean, I'm not. But
it is,
I'm
it's
a
that
better.
setting up for you,
Yeah.
setting yourself. It's
Yeah.
setting yourself up for success in with a real kindness, isn't it?
And I did it as well. I've done it sort of throughout my life, this morning thing. Because again, when I had Barnaby, my third, again, it was like, right, okay, you've got to get two kids, one kid to school, one kid to nursery, and you've got one that potentially needs a nappy change 3 times before we leave the house. So even though I was tired, I got up again just half an hour before I needed to, just to like anticipate the nappy changing and just
well done.
No, I mean, I'm crapping, like, it's my helpful. And then the other thing I did, that honestly, this is just because it might help, was when I was working in an office, and knew I was going to be sitting down literally all day, which for me, I would just be like, oh my God, I just hate it, the sitting down all day. So I mean, I know this is difficult if you're a single parent or you've got little kids, so it does depend on your lifestyle, but I went for a jog 20 minutes, just 20 minutes, really early in the morning, just to feel like I'd done something. And I hated it. I didn't want to do it, but I just made myself. And then when I was sat on my desk, I like, at least I'd done something.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, so that's my little morning thing.
And I did write down is a little resource for everybody to, if you like listening to podcasts, there's a brilliant podcast episode, the Life Coach School, with Brooke Castillo, where I did my certification. She's got her podcast is brilliant. All her podcasts are brilliant, but she's done one all on self-discipline with a self-discipline coach called Monica Levy, and it's episode.
She rings that.
Do you know that? It's episode 458, and it was created on the 26th of January 2023. So if you went and looked at the Life Coach School podcast and you went scroll down, it'd be self-discipline with Monica Levy.
Okay, let's do that again. So self-discipline
with Monica Levy
on the
Life Coach School podcast.
Life Coach School podcast. Okay.
I could put a link in the notes.
Yeah, that would be useful.
And it's really brilliant. And what she talks a lot about is how some of us naturally have more self-discipline than others. And I think, but we can all create a self-discipline. And it comes from that kindness, that relationship with yourself, like everything that you've just said, like setting yourself up for a day where actually then you're able to deal with things so much better because you've already got your mind in that right space. So me, on the other hand, I want to say I have no morning routine. That's not true. I do, but it's not intentional. And so what I think I should do is get up, but straight away, come down and sit with my coffee, do all my thought work, go and lovingly wake up the boys, and then, maybe do a little bit of yoga and a bit of exercise, and then I can go and have my shower, and then I'm ready. Well, actually, what happens is snooze, 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 snooze. I left my bed, snooze, snooze, snooze. Shit, I'm late. Jump in the shower, boys, let's go.
But the thing is, like, the difference between the two of, or how we see each other, that's what's interesting. So I look at you as the most gorgeous, loving human being that always sees the best in people. And you're so loving towards your children, and you're the one that will be the sit-down mum playing with your kids and all the rest of it. And I will be the one that will sit down with my kids, and I'll be engrossed in what we're doing. And then I'll like go, oh, I need to do that over there, you know? So I'll be so you're a lot more mindful and present than I am. So I think there's lots of things I can learn from you.
Well, it's vice, and it's the same back, isn't it? But it's interesting how you perceive me, because that, I mean, that's really lovely. Thank you. And I do sit and I do like play games with my kids, and I do like cuddles, and I am able to be very present with them. And I'm not a perfectionist in my life. I don't consider myself to be a perfectionist until it comes to the dishwasher, and till it comes to clutter. So if I could turn this around, actually, this space here is nice and clean, but I had to like shove the washing over onto the chair. There's a pile of washing there, Vicky, isn't there? And my worktop has bits on it that I wouldn't really want on it. I would much rather that to be clear and tidy and everything to be calm and minimal. But what I have done over the past couple of years of building my emotional resilience and building my mind management is I realised I don't need to waste time getting hung up on any of that.
No, you don't. And also with the washing and the dishwasher and the dishes and all the rest of it, I mean, the rest of the day, don't get me wrong, you know, I have washing out on the side and all this. It's never ending. You're never going to get the washing done. You'll never, because it's so, you know, again, bite-sized chunks.
Yeah.
Does it help, do you think, with the whole, you know, putting goals in for the year, to have a timetable for the day?
That's maybe we should do an episode on time management.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah, because
like, if you know you're going to do, sorry to interrupt, if you know you're going to do your exercise, which is your goal, or say your goal is, I don't know, having a healthier lunch, so you need a bit of time to prep for that. Is it worth actually saying in your calendar, right at 1 o'clock, I'm going to do that?
Well, I think so. And from about 9 o'clock, that is exactly right until the bit I go to bed. That is how my day is structured. I love calendaring. So maybe we should do a conversation about that. But I love calendaring. And yeah, it was exactly that, isn't it? Like, if you know you want to eat a healthy meal, and you know you need time to prepare that healthy meal, schedule in time to prepare the healthy meal.
Yeah.
If you want to spend time being really present with your kids, schedule that time so that when your
kids,
please,
it's playtime now.
We're gonna have
fun. It's fun time.
But schedule that in, because then what happens, and that time, then be flexible with what you're actually going to do, right? Because if they're playing on their Xbox, we've got PlayStations, and Blue has just got a VR headset, Oculus, which actually is really good fun, because there's this Beat Saber thing that you have like lightsabers and you've got to beat to the music. I love it. It's the best thing. But it might be that, and I had this conversation with Johnny, right? Because he's like, but I want to spend time with the kids. I'm like, but you're not doing what they want to do.
Yeah.
So sometimes spending time with the kids looks like getting on a PlayStation and playing Fortnite. I haven't got a clue how to do it, but they find it really funny. We're interacting.
Yeah,
like,
that's lovely.
Do you know what I mean? It doesn't always have to be, right, we're gonna have time together and it has to look like this. Yeah. It's like, no, this is just time when I'm fully present on my kids. And when your brain's going to go, but I should be at work, I should be exercising, I should be tidying, I should be doing the washing, I should be all the bullshit that our brain gives us. But that's what you've decided to do at the time.
And they'll always remember that, which is lovely.
Yeah.
And the other thing I was thinking about, you know, that sort of when you think about the year ahead and setting your goals, is being with people who generally you love being with and you like to hang around, that generally have an interest, that listen to you, because you know the ones that, like, if you're with someone and it's like they're like radiators, and so, you know, there's never any questions back. So I think, you know, maybe, I'm sure you've all got lovely friends and you sorted that out, but maybe have a think about you know, who you want to hang around with, who does you good, who's going to get your back when you say, these are my goals for this year. Are you going to have people that go, oh, don't be so stupid, you don't need to do that? Or brilliant.
And I think it's really, really amazing to have someone that's going to very lovingly call out your bullshit. Like if you've got that friend that's going to go, look, Vicky, I get it, I love you, but you really wanted to do this for yourself. Why are you letting yourself down? Like, it doesn't have to be, you know, you're right, because we become who we're with. And there's Jack Canfield talks about this. He's got a book called Success Principles. I mean, it's huge. It's broken down really nicely, chunk at a time, exactly. And but he talks about, like, it is really good to surround yourself with people, with like-minded people, people who you want to be like, people that fuel you. Now, we don't always have a choice about that, especially if you're at work or your family. But when you do have control over it, making that, it's all about being deliberate. To me, it's about being deliberate.
And actually making time in your week, or let's say in a month, if you know you've got busy work or whatever, to get dates in the diary with those people that fuel you, and like, you know, the laughing that you can properly like belly laugh with your friends, because that's such a good feeling. And often we lose that. Like, why did you kids? We laughed all the time. Now it's like,
life's fucking constant.
So
I'm gonna go there. But so I think we're coming, so it's 1/2. So that's perfect, because it feels like we've just come to a natural. Do you want to check your notes? What was it that you said you wanted to talk?
No, I think, I've got one more thing, but you go first.
Well, I wonder if it might be the same thing, because what you were saying earlier about, you said when we were just generally talking, you said the thing is, we hang around with ourselves all day long.
Like us.
Like
I have to put up with me all day.
And I have to put up with me. So it's what sort of relationship do you want with yourself? Do you want to be punishing yourself, trying to better yourself, belittling yourself through a goal? Or do you actually want to go, do you know what? I want to just learn to like myself.
Because there is always, isn't there, that chimp voice going, oh God, that was shit. Why did you do that? And oh my God, you're useless. You'll never do that.
And from that place of looking after yourself, then you do the exercise, but not out of like a negative, I need to be better, but out of a, do you know what? I'm amazing, and this is going to just make me even more amazing. Or, you know, I'm a human, and this is just going to make me even more, like, do you know what I mean? Setting that, if I make sense, setting that goal from a nice place, because you've got to be with you.
And like, you know, it can be the tiniest thing that's like, you didn't have sugar in your tea. Yay! Like, what? You. You know, that can be tiny.
And I know we'll talk about this in our next conversation, because in our next conversation, people, we're going to do it on the 9th of February.
Actually know if anyone's
is anybody listening? You've got 3 people. I don't know how to see my 3 people, but we're going to do this next conversation on the 9th of February.
Correct, Mondo.
And next time we are going to talk more about sugar cravings.
Yes, because particularly I think if you have set that health goal of, you know, giving up alcohol or giving up sugar or eating better come February, are you still doing that? Has it dropped? And you are brilliant at, mainly because you did it yourself as well, at the sugar cravings and how to stop them.
And the reason, how I started that was by saying, so I've named my primal brain, her name's Sue, and I encourage all of my clients to do that. And it might sound weird, but I would get you to name your primal brain. But what I then used to say to her was like, I get it. Like, you don't want to, so for me, it was like chocolate. I know you really want to eat all the chocolate.
So I know you want that Kit Kat.
But for you, it might sound like if you set an exercise goal, it might sound like, I hear you don't want to do the exercise. And then I used to follow that up with, but I am learning how to look after me now. Nikki's learning how to be in charge, not you. And that's then
that's really helpful. It's like your twin.
And like, your primal brain is trying really hard to keep you safe. It's just very it just doesn't understand that exercise is actually beneficial, because back in our cave people days, we would have conserved our energy because we needed to hunt down some saber-toothed tiger.
And it was natural. We just did it anyway because we had to.
So we had to. But so now any exertion it thinks is bad. So that's not an excuse. It's just a reason to have compassion with yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think the more you do it, it turns into habit forming, becomes part of your daily life.
Yeah.
These things, this healthy eating or whatever, and it's just something you do naturally.
Yeah, because the reason we've got our habits, that what we perceive to be our negative habits, is because we've just done something over and over again. So you're like, well, it's just the way I am. No, it's not.
That is bollocks.
Yeah, it is, and it's only that way because you've done it so many times, which is the best news ever, right? Because if you start to do something else, that then becomes the natural habit.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah. So my intention for this year is to get a better morning routine in, and I have actually ordered a book. I haven't. It literally came today. This is The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod.
I thought you were going to say L. Ron Hubbard then, the guy that set up Scientology.
Oh,
it's not. It's Hal Elrod.
Elrod.
Yes.
So I will let you know how this goes. So this
Sounds
is kind
good.
of my intention.
Do you know what my intention is?
Yeah,
To try and sit down in the evenings and watch some TV.
Yeah, I love it.
Because I'm just like, I mean, I do it, but often I'll be like cooking with, like, you know, and it will be like, okay, and you've got half an hour, and before you know it, then it's time for kids to bed. Just to sit.
Yeah, that's a nice goal to have.
Yeah.
So how have
sit more?
What have you got to do within your day or within your mind to that's going to enable you to actually sit down? And
well, it's day 5. And I've managed about half an hour or so. So I need to, you know, I'm thinking an hour would be good.
Well, starting with the little steps, like we've just told everybody, haven't we, little steps. So why don't you just start with like
it's just being on top of it. And then, but also, even if you haven't finished folding the washing, whatever, saying, right, no, schedule. 8 o'clock, Vicky time.
Tools, kitchen's closed, laundry's closed. Bums off.
Yes, that's a good way of looking at it, isn't it? The office is closed.
Laundry's closed for today. Sorry. Yeah, she's gone home. She's gone home.
Good. Right. Well, I have left my 3 kids. No, I've left 2 of my kids with 2 friends. If their mothers are watching, they're playing darts and eating Dominoes. What could go wrong? So I better get back. I did say.
What age are these children? 12. Right, so they're not like toddlers.
3
they're not 5.
12-year-olds. And my daughter, who's 15, is around to monitor the situation. But yeah, so darts and dominoes.
Which when Vicky told me, I was thinking darts, obviously darts, and then dominoes. I'm like, oh, they're going to be with the black thing in the numbers.
So I'm just
dominoes as a
actually. I was like, oh my God, what if one of them, like, you know, how as a mum you think I'll come back and there'll be one in a hospital. There'll
be holes.
Yeah.
In bodies, there shouldn't be holes. Should have holes.
So 180. I've got to go back. Yeah, exactly. Obsessed. I think it's the new 16-year-old. Is that who? No, there's this new 16-year-old.
Is there?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
No, you haven't been watching the darts, have you?
No, I haven't watched darts. I have no idea. I just remember Bullseye.
Yeah.
Like when I was like, I don't know,
back
10.
Back
in the 80s.
There's this 16-year-old phenomenal, so all the kids are like,
oh, is there?
Yeah. Anyway,
so
with that note, thank you.
Yeah. We didn't talk about wrapping it up, did we? We talked about how we were going to sort it up, kind of what we wanted to cover.
Yeah.
We've done very well on time.
Good luck with your goals.
Good luck with your goals. Good luck with creating self-discipline.
Love yourself.
We will see you again on the 9th of Feb. We're going to talk about sugar cravings.
Yes, we are.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Stop.
How do I stop it?
I don't know. How do we stop? We'll go like that. Are you sure you want to end your live video? And now.
So does that automatically kick me off then?
Oh, share. Like, live video ended. Share.
Oh, look at her bum.
Share. Oh. Oh, your saved live videos are now reels. Bloody
Ooh,
hell.
that's good. So I don't think that I've got anything.
Why have you not got anything?
So I'm going to stop this recording because it was your live.
What does that say? Your account is public, so anyone can check reels.